But first to Chelsea, who continue their bid to win the Club World Cup when they face the Brazilian side Fluminense at the MetLife Stadium in New York. Right, let's get to our chief correspondent, Kaveh Solokul, who's in New York. Kaveh, I know you've been gallivanting down and up the East Coast today, and we've seen pictures of Noni Madueke training with Chelsea and the rest of the squad. So he's staying, right? Is that what Enzo Maresca said?
Oh, no. I don't think he said Noni Madueke is staying. I still think it's very much open what happens to Noni Madueke. Enzo Maresca was speaking in a news conference here at the MetLife Stadium. It was so hot in that news conference. I don't think the air conditioning was working very well. That is why I'm appearing on Sky Sports News for the first time ever in a white T-shirt. So I do apologise, but it is very, very hot in New York today. At the moment, it is 36 degrees with the humidity, and I think that is going to be a concern for the players tomorrow, because the game kicks off right now in 24 hours time. So that is just something else that these Chelsea players are going to have to deal with. Will Noni Madueke be in the starting 11 tomorrow? I'm not so sure. Chelsea's last game against Palmeiras, he came on as a second half substitute, played really well. I asked Enzo Maresca about Madueke's state at the moment. Is he focused totally on Chelsea, or is he thinking about playing for Arsenal in a couple of weeks' time? And Enzo Maresca basically said, look, I appreciate at the moment it must be really difficult for Noni to deal with all the noise that is swirling around him, but for the time being, he's a Chelsea player. What kind of frame of mind is he in? Do you feel that he's 100% focused on Chelsea, and is he ready to start for Chelsea if you picked him?
Personally, I think the same noise were before Palmeiras game, but you see, we give him half an hour and he was very good. So I don't have any doubt that if we need Noni, he's going to help us. At the same moment, I can understand that as a human being, when there are many noise around you, it's not easy to deal with that. But hopefully, he can deal with that.
Kaveh, I have to say, I know you're doing it just because you're hot, but the white T-shirt's a very good look on you, sir. More of that in the future. But let's get back to the football. What about the man who made such an impact off the bench in the last game? Joao Pedro, of course. Is he ready to start this next match?
I think so. I think he really is. The problem Enzo Maresca has got is Liam Delap, his new signing from Ipswich Town, has been playing really well. I think he's the first choice number 9 at the moment. But of course, he picked up a yellow card against Palmeiras, which means he's suspended tomorrow. So Enzo Maresca has to decide, what shall I do? Shall I go with Joao Pedro or shall I go with Nicolas Jackson? Now, Joao Pedro has only been a Chelsea player for 5 or 6 days. This time last week, I think he was on the beach in Rio enjoying his holiday with his friends and his families. But Joao Pedro is very clever, because what he did is he knew there was a strong possibility that he could become a Chelsea player. So he took his personal trainer on holiday with him. So when he was in Brazil, he had a personal trainer. He was working with him every day. And we spoke to Joao Pedro a couple of hours ago, just before Chelsea trained. And Joao Pedro said, look, if I'm picked, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start. I feel very fresh. I think he missed Brighton's last 2 games of the season as well, but he looked really good against Palmeiras. And just reading between the lines from what Enzo Maresca was saying, I just get the sense that perhaps he's leaning towards starting him, Joao Pedro, instead of Nicolas Jackson.
There's been many players who've been signed as a number 9 to score goals, and they're all compared to Drogba or Costa. Joao Pedro feels like he's the latest guy now to have a go at continuing that tradition. Do the players, these young players, do they know about this history, and what kind of player is he? Can he do it?
For sure, I think Joao, Liam, Nico, the one that we have in this moment, they know exactly about number 9 Chelsea. But I said already many times, in my mind or in my idea, I prefer to have 4 or 5 players scoring 10, 12 goals each than just one striker score 40 goals. So you can see last year what we have done with Noni, what we have done with Enzo Fernandez, and we expect next season more goals from all our attacking players. But for sure, as I said, the ones that they are playing as a 9 with us, they know exactly Chelsea history. I think Joao can play in all the attacking position for us. He can play wide, he can play inside the pitch, he can play as a 9. The difference with Nico is just that I see Nico just as a 9, while I see Joao in different position.
So where does this leave Nico Jackson? I mean, if he's listening to that news conference, he's listening to his head coach talk about the fact that he's signed 2 forwards already this summer, Liam Delap and Joao Pedro as well, 2 players who can play in his position, 2 players who at the moment seem to be ahead of him when it comes to Enzo Maresca naming his starting 11s. Does Nicolas Jackson's future lie away from Chelsea? Well, look, the information we have is that there are lots of clubs who are interested in signing him. Clubs in the Premier League, clubs in Europe, clubs in Saudi Arabia as well. And just listening to Enzo Maresca talk about him today, he was kind of sitting on the fence a little bit. He wasn't going out of his way to be super complimentary about Nicolas Jackson. Of course, he rates Nicolas Jackson very, very highly. He was his first choice number 9 last season. But you do get the sense that maybe Nicolas Jackson and Noni Madueke could be leaving Chelsea in the next few weeks.
Oh, Nico is training well. Unfortunately, almost the last 2 games he played, he was sent off. It was a red card, unfortunately for him, unfortunately for us. But he's working well. He played after Newcastle red card. He played the Conference League final. He scored, we won. And then for the new season, also for the future, we decide to bring another 9. And in this moment, it's okay.
Well, whoever plays up front for Chelsea will be coming up against a familiar face, because the captain of Fluminense is Thiago Silva, the former Chelsea legend, who is still very much playing well, going strong, leading Fluminense, even though he's now 40.